Have you ever felt like your life is just spinning out of control? Your temper's flaring, your relationships feel like roller coasters, and everything just keeps slipping through your fingers. Well, welcome to being human. But there's a twist. The more we try to control everything, the less influence we actually have. Today, I want to introduce to you something called the paradox of control. It's a perspective shift that can completely change the way you handle stress, emotions, and relationships, and bring you back to peace even when life feels like a circus run by squirrels hopped up on energy drinks. And hey, if you want videos that help you gain greater influence in your life, and maybe the occasional slightly ridiculous analogy, tap the like and subscribe. It'll help you feel just a tiny bit more in control of your YouTube algorithm. So here's what I hear all the time from clients. I just need to control my anger. I can't stop this habit. I feel out of control. Everything in my life is chaos right now, and I don't know how to fix it. Let's be honest, most of us are control freaks in denial. We think, if I can just make everyone act right and keep everything stable, I'll finally feel okay. Whether it's trying to fix someone else's behavior, trying to control how we feel all the time, or trying to predict and plan every single detail of our future, it's exhausting. And spoiler, it doesn't work. In psychology, this is often tied to something called an external locus of control. That's when we believe our peace depends on things outside of us. And when those things go sideways, like life tends to do, we spiral. And here's the thing, control is mostly an illusion. What we're really craving is certainty, but we chase it through manipulation or force, and that almost always backfires. During the start of the COVID pandemic, I saw a newspaper on my in-laws' kitchen table, and the headline on the newspaper said, "Due to COVID, people feel out of control." And I just laughed. When my mother-in-law asked me what was funny, I said, it's just funny that people ever thought they were in control. People never were in control. They just liked the outcomes more before. Let that sit for a second. We feel in control when life goes the way we want. But when it doesn't, we panic. And we start grasping for control even harder, which ironically leads to less control and less influence. So here's the shift that changes everything. Control is trying to force the outcome. Influence is guiding the direction with awareness and responsibility. Control says this situation needs to happen my way. Influence says, I can take action that increases the chances of a good outcome. Psychology backs this up. Studies of locus of control show that people who believe they can influence outcomes rather than control them have better mental health, more resilience in their life, and even better performance at work and in their relationships. Think about it in your own life. You can't control someone else's emotions, but you can influence them by how you respond. You can't control every thought that pops into your head, but you can influence your brain through things like breathing, mindfulness, or gratitude, which we've talked about in other videos. You can't control if it rains on your camping trip, but you can bring a poncho. Or better yet, a playful willingness to splash in puddles like when you were a kid. Here's an example from therapy. I once worked with somebody who struggled with emotional outbursts all the time. He kept saying, I should be able to control my anger. But the more he tried to clamp it down, the worse it got. When he shifted to asking, how can I influence how I show up when I feel anger? Everything changed. He didn't suppress the emotion, he worked with it. And that's where the growth lives. Listen, I get it. Control and I have a complicated relationship as well, especially when I'm holding a wrench. I personally lose all sense of inner peace the moment I try to fix anything around the house. I've yelled at screwdrivers and argued with tape measures, and once threatened a stubborn bolt that owed me money. It's not about the bolt. It's about the illusion that I'm supposed to have control. And clearly, I don't. If you want to stop grasping for control and start growing real peace, here are 3 practical steps. Step 1 is to just name what you're actually responsible for. Ask yourself, what part of this situation is truly mine? You're responsible for your responses, not everyone else's reactions. Step 2 is to let go of the outcomes and focus on the process. Influence is about small, consistent actions. Instead of, I need my partner to change, try, what's one way I can show up better in this relationship today? Step 3 is to practice surrender and strategy. Surrender is not giving up. It's giving up the illusion. Then, with clarity, take action where your influence actually matters. Let me show you how this looks in a real-life situation using the ACT method I teach. Because this stuff isn't just theory, I had a client, we'll call her Sarah, who was constantly stressed about her teenage son. He was pulling away, making choices she didn't agree with. And she found herself trying to control everything. His phone use, his friends, his attitude, even how he felt. She was exhausted. So we walked through the ACT framework together. Step 1, acknowledge and accept. Sarah had to recognize what was really going on. She said, I feel like I'm losing him and I'm trying to control everything to feel less afraid. Just naming it helped her soften. She didn't have to like what was happening, but she could stop pretending she could force it to change. Step 2 was to change her body. Her nervous system was on full alert mode, so we got her moving, literally. Deep breathing. She went on evening walks, and she loved to sing, and so she was singing in the car. Small shifts helped her to calm her brain so she could show up differently with her son. Step 3 was to think well. Then we worked on the internal script. Instead of, he's ruining his life and I have to fix it, she started asking, what influence do I have right now? What do I need to release? What part of this is truly mine to own? That mindset shift was everything. Step 4 was to take action. So she invited him out to lunch. No lectures, no control, just connection. It didn't fix everything, but it opened a door, and she kept walking through it with curiosity instead of control. That's what ACT looks like. Not perfection, just progress. One honest, calming, growth-focused step at a time. So the next time life feels chaotic and your inner control freak starts reaching for the steering wheel, pause, breathe, and remember, you don't need to control everything to create something good. If this hit home and you want more ways to strengthen your mental game without taking yourself too seriously, go ahead and subscribe and stick around. I've got more videos coming that will help you think well, feel better, and laugh a little along the way. Take care of your brain, trust your influence, and I'll see you in the next one.